Egg shakers. We've all got them. But how exactly do you play them? It's not just as simple as closing it in your fist and shaking, hoping for the best. I find that using a shaker is a really useful rhythmic tool for some of my beginner students because it really helps you to get inside of the rhythm. It's a really useful and versatile instrument. Before you get to shaking, you've got to think about what's inside. Whether your egg shaker is shaped like an egg or more like a tube, like the one I'm going to use today, it's filled with little beads or something small inside which is rattling. So every time you shake it backwards and forwards, you've got to think about the way that those tiny things inside are moving. You want them all to move as a mass. As with everything, good posture is important. Feet on the floor, sitting up straight, not locked to one side. You want to have your shoulder about in line with the egg shaker. It depends on your body, but you don't want to be playing up here or down there. Your elbow is a hinge joint, so we use that to try and move backwards and forwards smoothly. This hand, which is holding the shaker, wants to be going as smoothly as possible. So let's start off by visualizing all those beads inside. At the moment, they're sitting at the bottom, and I want to have them, all of them, moving forwards and backwards as one. So to do that, I'm just going to hinge from the elbow. Think of a half full bottle of water, the way it splishes forwards and backwards. Once you've got the feeling of bending your elbow to move those beads backwards and forwards, I'm going to start to add a little bit of a kick to that shaker. So instead of the beads rolling all the way down, forwards and backwards, we actually want to throw them across. To do this, you're going to use your elbow, that same motion we've just practiced, but also a flick at the wrist. That's you throwing the beads across and cutting out the bit at the bottom. That's going to help to get it really in time. Notice how I'm using a combination of wrist and elbow. Holding the shaker, palms facing into each other. I like to balance it just on top of this finger with the other two curled around it. With an egg, it suits my hand best to point the nose into the centre and wrap the fingers around the larger end. Obviously, most shaker grooves have a little bit more in them, so we've got two strokes. We've got two ways to play the shaker. All the beads flying forwards and backwards, or some of the beads stroking across the bottom. We're going to combine those two strokes together with a throw and 3 sloshes. And let's try putting that throw on the Just by using that semiquaver one-eander pattern, check out my other video on that if you need a recap, we can start to pull out accents from all different places. Set your metronome on, play around with semiquavers and working between the sloshy sound and the throwing sound. Once you've started to get the techniques in place of how to use a shaker, we can look at how to use it to accompany yourself on a different instrument, or just use it for playing along with other people. Remember, you've got 2 hands, so once you finish this video, you can always go back and play it again with the other hand. It might be more challenging, but it's really useful to be able to do these things with both hands. You never know when you're going to need a bit of shaker. Thanks so much for watching my video on shaker technique. I hope it's useful, even if it's just a crash course introduction as to how to play this instrument. Make sure you give it a like and subscribe for new videos all the time. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. A few basic tips for how to use an egg. Notice